Und zurück bei Fast Forward. Und ich sitze jetzt hier mit Zoot Woman, beziehungsweise mit Johnny und Adam. And first we have to say, welcome on the show. First.
Thank you.
Where's Stuart? Because as far as I know, he's in America rehearsing with Madonna. Is that true?
Yeah, that's right, LA.
Yeah.
In LA? Mm-hmm. Okay, isn't that sort of the closest you can get to sort of glam heaven?
Yep, I think so, yeah. I mean, it is, yeah.
Plastic land.
Yes, yes. but is he sort of calling up and sort of telling you what it's like?
I think it's very busy over there.
Yeah.
He has called me up a couple of times, but, yeah, I mean, they work very long days. When you work for Madonna, you don't stop. You know, it's just all the time.
But obviously he has already met her and stuff.
Oh, yeah, yeah, sure. She's in rehearsal with him all day. Yeah, every day.
Yeah.
Wow. But don't you want to go and visit him quickly to have
Good
a
idea,
glimpse at her?
Cool, yeah, not to go and see him, but just go and see her.
Fuck him.
All right, Stuart, how's it going? All right, then.
Piss off, get out of the way. And I would love to talk about your album, and it took 2 years to get ready.
Yeah,
which is quite a long time. So could you explain how you work in the studio?
We don't work together at first, because
okay.
we just call each other names and we just...
You say
you
peep and...
Yeah, we say beep, beep, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Just because, you know, you're all sitting around together, you've got nothing, and you're just all on a keyboard, on a guitar. It's just one massive noise.
Yeah.
So what generally happens for each of the songs on the album, there's one leader. Mm-hmm. Someone's gone away and written 50% of the song on their own.
Yeah.
Then brings it along and shows the other two guys, and then you work together on that.
Okay, and then you the other two sort of get rid of things and then add something and
well, that's the great thing as well, because we're friends and brothers, we can say, look, that's crap, that's awful, why did you put that in there?
Sort of
and you
in
take
comparison to working with stars, maybe.
Yeah, you have to go, oh, it must be good if you're doing that.
something on the tape or something like that.
Exactly like that, yeah. So it's really important that we can sort of say exactly what we feel.
But when you're songwriting, sort of, because Zoot Woman has got a very strong own sound, you could say. And when you're songwriting, have you got a complete vision of what it's going to sound like in the end? Or is it lots of trying around with different effects? And
I think I know what you mean. I think it's sort of like, I think because it's a sort of joint effort, Zoot Woman, there's always, even if we try out a new song, it's it always takes its own formula of sounding something like quite individual, because Adam does his bit, Stuart does his bit, and I do my bit. So however different the song might be, there's always going to be a very it's sort of quite an individual sound to it, because there has to be, and we don't collaborate, or haven't yet so far.
Yeah, but so you do sort of write the song knowing what things you're going to use to get to the sound, sort of.
Yeah, well, like you say, you know, we spent 2 years on it, and we're really careful on each bit that we don't go, oh, no, that sounds a bit like that. No, can't do that. So it's a very long process. So
we're sort of forbidding yourself things. Also, sort of going, no, you're not.
If it sounds the slightest bit naff, you get rid of it.
Yeah.
And that's what takes a long time. So, yeah. I mean, we do know what it's going to sound like in the end. It just takes a long time. You have to be very careful.
Yeah, and do you think there are any do's and don'ts for a great pop song? Have you got sort of rules you're not allowed to do that ever?
Don't put the word baby. you don't want to be cliches.
Yeah.
And don't put like a guitar solo in it if you don't want to sort of jump on the sort of...
But then again...
We've tried that every song with it.
Recently, there have been lots of don'ts, sort of looking at Daft Punk now. They're sort of building songs out of don'ts,
out of the
really.
Don'ts. Yeah.
Sort of Van Halen guitar stuff for hours and hours and hours. It's sort of, you know, other people would have killed themselves if they had to do it.
If a band had to make finger tapping cool, it had to be Daft Punk.
Yeah, yes.
But I think that's what it is. It's because they're Daft Punk, they can get away with it. I think where we are at the moment with our debut album, you can... We're even getting, at the moment, labelled as just being an 80s revivalist band, which we're absolutely
we
not.
have to get to that later, because I know you absolutely hate that. Yes, exactly. And sort of the first video we're going to look at is Living in a Magazine now, and I guess you must be very happy with the video, how it turned out to look.
Yes,
and you're madly in love with the designer. Is that the blonde lady?
Yeah, that's it, Fiona, Fiona Duran.
She's the genius who did all the clothing and stuff.
I thought you could say we're madly in love with the models in the video.
Oh, yeah. Well,
that as well.
Yes.
As well, yeah. That's the funny thing. Everyone says, oh, yeah, we love your video and stuff. And it's, well, you know, there's a lot of different people that contributed to that video.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's Dawn, the director, Dawn Shadforth, who sort of conceived the idea and the treatment, and then there's Fiona, the stylist, and all the models and everything, and the whole production of it was really good. It's like you don't feel solely responsible for something like that.
Yes. Yes, but I can imagine sort of having a video like that. You must have sort of strong ideas what you want it to look like at the beginning, and it's very difficult to have sort of visual things turning out how you want it to be.
Yeah, and that's why it's important for us to work with people that understand our music.
And that you can trust someone.
Yeah, and you just think, because she understood totally what the whole living in a magazine concept was all about.
Yeah.
So we read her treatment and she went, I know exactly what you mean about living in a magazine. This is my treatment, great. And we did it, and it, you know, done in a day, it was brilliant.
It's brilliant. So it could have turned out terrible. You know, other bands hate their videos and don't want to watch them and don't want to talk about it. And so it's good.
We can't stop talking about it.
Yes, very good.
Who's our video?
Okay, so here it goes. Living in a magazine from Zoot Woman for you in the Germany. Do you want to say a German word?
I can only think of rude ones, so no.
Umgebung, you could say.
It's going to be like nighttime viewing or daytime.
First is daytime and then it's in the night. So shut up.
Don't nobody know my troubles was gone.
Und zurück bei Fast Forward mit Zoot Woman hier in London, aus Stewart's House, übrigens. And now I would love to talk about this 80s thing, and there are a few people only who sort of reduce you very much to this 80s style thing. And do you think that lots of people emphasise much too much on this 80s style aspect of you?
They do, because with respect to the music, they listen to it and they hear a synthesizer,
and
maybe
go,
on the first time. Oh, they're 80s revival bands.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, there's that element. We are interested in the 80s, but you know, 20% of our music is 80s. You know, there's so much other influence. You know.
Yeah.
And I think that that's the thing. If you listen to it once, maybe you think it sounds 80s, but you listen to it a bit more, and hopefully you'll grasp what it's all about.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it stems from the image, and you perhaps see our pictures and you think it's just like it's not a not too shocking variation on something like Roxy Music or something, but then they relate it to the suit concept. But as far as I'm concerned, the suits since the 60s have been used in amounts bands. But I think it's also quite an up and coming thing. The 80s revival, particularly magazines like The Face, they sort of draw on that very much. So it's quite something of the cutting edge.
And it is sort of a much easier way. Sort of fashion was the first to sort of go sort of a bit back 80s and sort of refresh it and use it for today's fashion. And it's sort of a really easy thing sort of for fashion to do. And music is, when somebody does it with music, it's sort of, stop it, don't, we kill you.
Yeah. But that's what's great at the moment. The music is coming through now. So the fashion and music are working sort of in tandem. So, but yeah, it's just it can get a bit annoying when it's all emphasis on just being an 80s band that's around to be trendy at the moment, when you've spent 2 years on an album before it was. Before the 80s was coming back and all that. So,
of course.
No, it's not.
Because you didn't do it yesterday.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, look what's going to happen there. Let's write an album in 5 minutes. So
it's not like when we were actually writing, we were thinking, we've got to bring back something from, Talking Heads in that song, and something from like Duran Duran or Culture Club in that song. You don't think that at all. It's purely a way you're sort of perceived by people and how they want to sort of link all your ideas together. But all you're thinking when you're writing is, how can we make this song a song that we like?
Good, maybe.
Or if we have in fact made the songs good.
You definitely have. I'm allowed to say.